Captain Schettino arrived home in the early hours of Wednesday and hasn't been seen since, but the chorus of disapproval is only getting louder. The tape recording of Schettino refusing to go back onto his sinking ship has been played over and over in the Italian media.
Io sto andando qua con la lancia dei soccorsi, sono sotto qua, non sono andato da nessuna parte, sono qua. Che sta facendo, comandante? Sto qua per coordinare i soccorsi. Che sta coordinando lì? Vada a bordo, mi coordini i soccorsi da bordo.
On Giglio Island, residents opened their homes to feed and shelter the shocked survivors coming off the ship. Hearing the captain refuse to help is appalling to them.
That phone call was shocking.
Even our boys went there to help as the disaster happened. How could the captain leave the ship? Leaving the ship, that's the worst single thing he's done.
In the Italian newspapers, former colleagues of Captain Schettino are quoted describing him as a daredevil and too high-spirited. Schettino's conduct condemned as bravado, showing off, clowning around. But Schettino's lawyer insists his client's actions saved hundreds of lives.
The captain is crushed by what's happened, so let's get rid of this negative accusation on his personality. He's a man deeply crushed, not just by the loss of his ship, but by the loss of human life.
As one captain is condemned, another is praised. Captain Gregorio De Falco is the man who can be heard ordering Schettino to climb back on board the ship and help with the evacuation. But he's a reluctant hero. Crises can bring the best and the worst out of people. It seems to have been no different here.
Well, we can join Paul Brennan live for us on Giglio Island. First of all, Paul, tell us what's happening with the search operation. I understand it's just started again. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. It resumed just over an hour ago now. It had been suspended a little earlier when the ship moved again. There was a shifting in the ship. They've got some very sensitive measuring equipment on there, and as soon as the ship does start to move, then they obviously have to get the divers out as quickly as possible for their own safety because of all the debris that's flying around in there. Well, I can tell you that the search operation has continued. I mean, they've frankly given up all hope of finding anybody alive in there anymore, but obviously there are still people unaccounted for. There are inevitably going to be bodies in there that have to be brought out, so they are working again to try and complete that task.
Paul, in your report we heard there the incredible conversation really between Captain Schettino and De Falco. There's been a lot of soul-searching in the Italian media about how this could have happened and how someone like Schettino could have abandoned ship. Tell us a little bit more about the kind of reaction and debate that there's been in Italy over the past few days.
Well, I mean, it plays out like almost a pantomime. You know, of course, there's the villain, Captain Schettino, and if you have a villain, you need a hero, and that's where Captain De Falco has come in. Now, he's a bit of a reluctant hero. He did appear briefly in Livorno, which is where he's based, to say, basically, deny that he's a hero, very modestly. And Captain Schettino has been absolutely vilified in the Italian media. People who have heard that conversation, that taped conversation, which was broadcast very, very widely. I mean, it was on all the networks on Tuesday. Absolutely appalled that the captain kind of taken himself off the ship so early on in the evacuation effort, leaving many, many hundreds of people behind, effectively in the hands of far more junior crew to try and get them off. I have to say that, you know, the captain's lawyer has, as we heard, been defensive of him, and some details have been emerging about the evidence that was given to the investigating magistrate at the hearing on Tuesday, where, I mean, one of the excuses Captain Schettino is now putting forward is that he tripped and fell into the lifeboat, and that's how he found himself off the ship. Now, whether you believe that or not, well, that's down for the prosecutor to decide, I suppose. It doesn't seem particularly credible, but that's apparently what Captain Schettino is now saying, and now giving us an excuse for why he was in that lifeboat and not at the bridge ordering and organising the rescue.
Paul Brennan with the latest there from Giglio Island in Italy. Paul, thank you.